school is a lot more like an actual family, a community. Everyone is really connected, everyone knows each other, the teachers are always helpful, and the main big difference is the fact that we have our culture that we're being taught here, and it's really exciting to get to know more about ourselves and our people, but also learn more about other people as well in a respectful manner.
What I like the most about the school is that it has a cultural aspect. So we implement in our curriculum indigenous teachings too. So we have that both perspectives in like Western teachings and cultural teachings too.
I think this school, everybody respects each other's culture, whether they're from different parts. The students here are really open-minded and they're really nice with each other. I think that socially we get along really well.
In April of 2013, the FNX NOW team visited Anahucalmecac High School, part of the first charter school in East Los Angeles, a school with a rich cultural and indigenous presence within their curriculum. We spoke to staff members, parents, and students about the school, its history, and its academic approach.
We come from a long line of struggle here in Los Angeles for education that's relevant and that works in our community. And we've strived for over 20 years now to create institutions that support our community and support youth in our community as we pursue higher education without having to leave the culture and the language and identity that we have, which are gifts. So Semillas is actually born of the collaboration of parents and teachers over 10 years ago that came together to provide an alternative which didn't exist in Los Angeles. In particular, there were no charter schools at that time in East Los Angeles that served in particular Mexicano or Spanish-speaking families, indigenous families in particular. And we saw a ready community that was interested in studying about culture and in making sure that that school connected with home life and with our community. And first thing we did was organize what we called a plebiscite, a consulta, to find out if there was support in the community, and thousands of people participated. And we asked some important questions. If we could organize our own school, what would it look like? What would you want in it? Would you support a school that had multiple languages? Would you support a school that taught Nahuatl, one of our native languages? And it's one of the most spoken native languages in the continent, in the world, with over 2 million speakers, fluent speakers of Nahuatl. And the resounding response was yes, 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 now how do I sign up?
A charter school is a public school, but it's an independent school. A charter is a contract with a school district that says that they're allowing you to run a school. You still have to follow California education codes, but it has the freedom to develop its own curriculum. Usually teachers at a district, because of their contract with the union and the school district, they usually don't have that authority to develop their own curriculum, but we do.
Culture is very linked. It's a part of the everyday learning here. And so that is really great for the kids to be able to have that experience, being in a learning environment that's stimulating, but also that encompasses their culture, maternal language, and that just supports everything about being who they are.
Cuando yo me enteré de esta escuela, cuando se estaba iniciando, fue porque andaba yo inscribiendo a mi hija, tenía la edad preescolar para kinder. Entonces yo ya la había inscrito en una escuela regular del distrito. Entonces yo en ese momento me enteré que estaban abriendo esta escuela y me interesó el currículo que presentaban, lo que estaban enseñando. Me interesó mucho que estaban enseñando la educación bilingüe, inglés-español, y aparte de eso estaban llevando mandarín, estaban llevando danza azteca, estaban llevando náhuatl. Entonces me interesó mucho eso, porque como yo soy de origen indígena zapoteco de Oaxaca, entonces a mí me interesó mucho que mi hija entrara a esta escuela para que ella siguiera conservando sus raíces, sin pena, sin vergüenza de decir con la frente en alto, decir que ella es indígena, ¿verdad? Entonces por eso me interesó esta escuela, el amplio currículum que estaban presentando, aparte de matemáticas, inglés, ciencia. Entonces fue que ya saqué a mi hija de la escuela regular y la vine a inscribir aquí.
I know where I'm from. There's many students or many young adults that don't know where their parents, some don't even know where their parents are from, so they don't know how to identify themselves. And me, by being indigenous, I can identify myself by saying, you know, I'm a Zapoteca, and a lot of people are like, what is that? Or, you know, like, what do you mean? And then I explain it to them, and then they're like, oh wow, that's really cool.
In 2007, we opened our high school in Anahucalmecac, mostly because the parents of our 8th graders, our graduating 8th graders, charged us with the responsibility of opening a way for them to continue that path of studies. And over the last 5 years, we've spent our life building that curriculum and building that school culture of Anahucalmecac.
When you talk about curriculum and academics, for me, that was really important. We provide a really great, rigorous curriculum along with the International Baccalaureate program, and with culture being a part of that component of our curriculum.
An IB school means that we're part of the International Baccalaureate, that we've been in a way accredited by them, that we're an IB school, and they have certain standards that are accepted worldwide. So that if you go to a school in Norway, let's say, and it's an IB school, then a school knows that the credit that you got there, it's equivalent to another school in Los Angeles, you know, so that they know that the curriculum is similar and that students have achieved a certain level. And a lot of the universities look at that because then they know that they have met a certain standard in order to be accepted into a university.
I've been in almost all the clubs in this school. I participate in Malta UN. We got a chance this year to go to the UN, the United Nations Permanent Forum for Indigenous People, which was actually a really great opportunity. We were able to speak with people from different parts of the world, and it was really amazing to me, and it opened my eyes to what's out there, you know?
We went just this year to New York to be a part of the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues, and it was a really great experience. And so we get not only the sort of mock experiences, but to actually experience the real world through some of these clubs and activities.
I was actually able to go to the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues in New York. I'm in the medical club, and college club, environmental club, martial arts, danza. Being in a school that embraces my culture is really amazing. Everywhere I go, whenever I do talk about my school, like what the culture that we have, they're really impressed by me. They're like, how old are you? You're like 16, you've learned Mandarin, you learned Nawa, you've been doing that since you were 5. And I'm like, yeah. So I think it just makes me feel really, really good. It makes me feel really happy, just being able to impress a lot of people and really know that I can make a change just by all the teachings that I'm like receiving, you know. Like going to the Mali United Nations, a lot of people were like, what, like you went to a really United Nations conference, you were there, you were able to communicate to people from all around the world, English and Spanish. I think that coming to a school where I can embrace that, it makes me feel really, really good.
We're successful now at having all of our curriculum is A through G approved by the University of California. So when our students graduate, they graduate with that credit. Our Indigenous language courses of Nahuatl are actually UC recognized and approved as well, which is a huge head up. I mean, some of our kids can actually have really fluent conversations about our culture, Mesoamerican studies, anthropology with professional anthropologists and with professors in the field, and are probably more fluent than most Nahuatl professors in universities today. And we have a great relationship with the community because we've been here for so long and we've stuck together.
Despite local support, the school had been the subject of controversy due to its curriculum and operating practices. Citing low test scores, Los Angeles Unified School District voted not to renew the unique high school's charter, leading Anahucalmecac to close its doors on June 30, 2013. Petitions to overturn this decision are currently circulating amongst the school's supporters. Calls into the district were not returned to FNX producers, but school officials commented on the possible outcome before the decision took place.
Despite all of the academic success that our students demonstrate and the focus on high quality education, the district unfortunately doesn't recognize it, doesn't value it, because it doesn't fit the boxes that they want it to fit on their timetable. And they don't recognize that in reality, the innovation that we're presenting is something that should benefit students throughout the district. And so they've actually recommended for the denial of the petition that our parents and our founders have submitted for the renewal of the charter, which means that if the Board of Education of Los Angeles Unified School District votes to deny our charter petition, the school closes on June 30th. And in this case, unfortunately, instead of having and leading with a good rationale for their recommendation for denial, they're coming up with a lot of misleading information that to a very busy board member who has to consider a million things at once, within a matter of 6 minutes as they decide the fate of these 400 students and their community's aspirations, we won't have the time to go through all of the details of our case. But they will come to light because our community is strong and organized.